Hey guys, doing another What's Next. This is on former WBA Super Featherweight champion Andrew Cancio of the United States. Cancio is currently ranked 9th for me in the 130-pound Super Featherweight division. He last fought in November on a DAZN card when he main evented a DAZN card and got stopped in the 7th round by Rene Alvarado and lost the WBA world title. Prior to that, he had back-to-back knockout wins over Alberto Machado, upset wins, and proved he was a better man at 130. And then he came in the favorite against Alvarado, a guy he had knocked out years earlier, and Alvarado just outworked him, dominated him, and stopped him in the 7th. After that, he got released by Golden Boy for making derogatory comments about the promotion, so they released him shortly after the loss, and a third fight with Alvarado was kind of thrown out the window. So now he was scheduled to come back in either late March or April on a Top Rank card because Top Rank picked him up, signed him, but the coronavirus pandemic canceled all that from happening. So now the big question is, what's next for Andrew Cancio? Well, let's take a look. Let's run through the top 10 and see what he could be doing. Start with number 1, reigning WBC champion Miguel Berchelt. It's not going to happen next, but he could put himself in the picture of possibly facing Berchelt since they're both top-ranked guys. So, that is possible down the road. It's just not going to happen next. Number 2 is newly crowned IBF champion Joseph Diaz Jr. Not an option right here. Diaz has already beaten Cancio back in 2016. He stopped him. But Diaz either has a mandatory due or he's got a mandatory rematch with Tevin Farmer due. So, yeah, he's not going to consider this fight next. Next at number 3 is WBA Super Champion Leo Santa Cruz. Not seeing this one. Santa Cruz is a PBC guy. Cancio's with Top Rank. And Santa Cruz is being highly rumored to be moving up to 135 next and challenging Gervonta Davis for the title there. So this isn't an option. Number 4 is undefeated former featherweight champ Oscar Valdez. They're both top-ranked guys. I'd like to see it. I don't think it's going to happen just because Valdez is lined up to cash in on a mandatory title shot against Miguel Berchelt next. But if for some reason that fight didn't happen, I think Cancio would be a good option, but I don't think it's going to happen. Next at number 5 will be a third fight, a rubber match with Rene Alvarado, the WBA regular champion. Not going to happen next, at least we know. Golden Boy's not happy with Cancio. I think Cancio would have to get a nice win under his belt, fighting for another promotion now, for Golden Boy to consider this fight, and it's just not going to happen next. Number 6 is former world title challenger Mickey Roman. This is an interesting one. I think this fight is possible. Roman is not currently on Top Rank's roster from what I can see online. He may well still have some kind of co-promotional thing working with them, but Roman, a veteran, he's worked with Top Rank. He hasn't fought anybody legit since he lost the WBC title fight against Miguel Berchelt back in November of 2018. He's fought a couple times, but against lower level competition. I can see him coming back in the mix and facing a guy like Cancio. I think this fight makes a lot of sense for both these guys. The big question is, do these guys want to do this next? Because it is taking a step up. They're both top 10 guys. So I'm leaning towards no on this one, but I do think it could happen. It maybe could happen. Next at number 7 is reigning WBO champion Jamel Herring of the United States. Herring is lined up to defend his title against Carl Frampton next. These guys are both top-ranked guys, though, so maybe he can move himself in line for a fight with Herring. We got to wait and see. Next at number 8 is former IBF champion Tevin Farmer. Farmer likely has a mandatory title shot against Joseph Diaz, a rematch next. But if for some reason that were to fall through, I think this is something to be considered, but I'm not sure if Top Rank and Matchroom would get together for a fight right here, because really, would it make a lot of sense? If they could come together and make it an eliminator, maybe, but I just don't see the two promotions coming together for a non-title fight like this, and neither guy are major top-level guys in the division, so, maybe, but I doubt it. Number 9 is Cancio, and then number 10 is Jesus, drawing a blank now, 130. Number 10 is Jono Carroll of the United Kingdom. I wouldn't completely rule the Carroll fight out, but again, this is the two promotions, Matchroom Top Rank having to get together. I don't see it happening next. So what do I think Andrew Cancio is going to do next? Honestly, I think he's going to get a tune-up bout under his belt, get a win, and then he's going to be one of those stepping stone guys that they can feed off of, but, you know, that this upper level, you know, the top tier guys at Top Rank can feed off of, but, you know, Top Rank's got some good fighters. Shakur Stevenson is talking about moving up to 130. I think a guy like Cancio makes a ton of sense for a guy like Stevenson, you know, in his first fight at 130. That could be possibly next for Cancio. Cancio's willing to fight anybody, and, you know, and he just enjoys the sport, enjoys the fight, especially if it's a title fight. So later on down the road, maybe towards the end of the year, a title fight could be possible. I think some kind of eliminator could be next. He's rated number 5 in the WBA, where he held the title, number 7 in the WBC. All he needs is a decent opponent to try to move up and fight an eliminator. And I think those guys are there. I think Shakur Stevenson is very possible if Stevenson's next fight is up at 130, if he decides to move up. And then another fight I think is really possible if they wanted to make it, is him and Mickey Roman. Other than that, in the top 10, I think he's probably going to go after just a tune-up bout to stay busy, but we'll see what happens. All right, guys, that's what's next on Andrew Cancio, the former world champion. Hope you enjoyed this. True Boxing, you've been hit with the truth.